Hi guys, welcome to today's video. This is my honest review of the KBD polyurethane bumper for the 300ZX. Well, when I say it's an honest review, first thing, to be honest, this is not really about KBD, but this is about polyurethane bumpers in general, which is what's causing the issues that I have, which I'm going to explain in the video. So yeah, I am based in the UK, KBD is in the US. So when they ship these bumpers, to save on shipping costs, what they do, because it's polyurethane, they fold them up into a very small box. So they pretty much fold it in half, put it in a box, and it's apparently like memory foam. You get it out of the box, you put it in sunlight, you heat it up a bit, and it reforms to its shape. That's sort of true, but not all of it goes back 100%. Here you've got a little bit of a high spot here. Did try and clamp it down, but it's, you know, just not having it. So the other thing, KBD claim that these here are perfect fit for the car. It's pretty close, but it is not perfect. If you look at this engine panel here, this headlight panel, look how close this is to my bonnet. Now the reason this is so close to the bonnet, which it wasn't on the original OEM bumper, is that this bumper here is as far down as it's coming this way. It will not come anymore, it will not stretch anymore. So this is forcing this panel up like this. So another thing which a lot of people say about these KBD bumpers is the fitment around here. To be honest, it's not perfect, but you know, I'm not too bothered about that. That's reasonably acceptable. So yeah, excuse this bumper, it's currently in the process of being wet sanded before I decide what I'm doing with it. Now another thing that KBD don't tell you, and maybe they're not aware of it because they're American, on the 300ZX, on the American cars, this here will be your indicator and your side lamp, and this will be your fog light. On the Japanese cars, it's the same, except you get a clear one of these, where the American ones you get the orange and the clear. But on the UK car, what you get here is your indicator is here in the orange, and you got your side lamp here, and this here is a dummy. This is just pretend, there's nothing in that. But the difference is, on the fog lights which come on the Jap spec cars and American cars, they are mounted from behind on the bar and they sit further back. On the UK car, these go in from the front and they sit further forward, which basically makes this fitment round here on this bumper, which is designed around the American and the Japanese spec, very tight fit. And then because it's polyurethane and this is very tight fit, it flexes about. And then what's happened here is, you can see I've got some stress cracks which have come in my clear coat. I've tried wet sanding it down, but they're just not coming out. I mean, also what I did get was I got some stress cracks here when I fitted the bumper, because it was very tight round here and round here. Although before I painted it, it fit, but after painting it, it was very tight. I did get some stress cracks here, but I have managed to wet sand those out. But these ones here are way too deep, so basically this bumper's got to be repainted. And I imagine, you see, what you normally do when you paint a bumper, which I did, is you take it off the car, you put it over something like a sawhorse, and you paint it, and then you put it back on the car. But the problem is, with it being polyurethane and it hanging over a sawhorse, it's kind of sagged, and then when the paint's dried, it's kind of dried in the sagged position, so then it needs stretching back to the right position, and it won't go back to the right position, and you end up with stress cracks in the clear coat, and also bits what don't fit, like this down here, which I will get to in a minute. So first of all, this bit down here and this fitment around here, on this side it's not too bad. What you've got here is you've got two studs down here, and then what you have here is you have a bolt what you put down here, and you have a screw what goes up into there. Although I've not fitted this bit, but I do intend to go back and line it and fit this bit. But on a lot of fiberglass bumpers, you get basically you get a whole piece of fiberglass there and a whole piece of fiberglass in like that. On this, what you've got is you've just got a small tab here, and a couple of tabs here. and because it's not very rigid, i.e. polyurethane, these tabs just flex about. So what you need to do is you need to put your metal bit in here to clamp it up. And what I do intend to do here, which I can fix this issue here, is I'm going to get some aluminium angle and basically cut a bit right up here and then trim it like that, and then bolt that through underneath the bumper. That will sort that issue out and sort that issue out. If we go around the other side, you can see it's quite a lot more out. It's decided to go in here, but obviously when I put some angle in there and line that up with that, that will pull that out. That will solve that issue. However, my biggest issue is this. As I said, I painted this over a sawhorse, and what's happened is this here is all sagged in, and it's kind of decided it's going to stay sagged in, because this really should be right out here, which then that would sort out that alignment there, and also it would sort out that the wheel looking very odd there. It would sort that out. And what I could do to fix that is I could build an under tray or a splitter which is attached to here and attached to the rad support, or some kind of structural frame inside. Because if we go around the other side, yeah, have a look around this side. This side here is miles out. Wants to come right out like that, and that wants to come out here as well at the top. And it's quite a bit forced to hold that out. So the conclusion, firstly, that's a shite number plate. I'll put that on for the MOT, and I do intend to change it, put one on the front here or a square one in there. I haven't quite decided what to do yet. But anyway, back to the original subject. Would I buy a KBD bumper again? No. And not because it's KBD, but because it's polyurethane. Basically, the reason I brought it is I went on the internet, and this is a copy of the Greddy bumper, and I wanted this particular bumper. All the videos on YouTube of the KBD bumper, there wasn't any bad reviews about all these fitment issues and the flexibility and stuff. And basically the marketing for KBD and polyurethane is, if you bump your bumper on a curb or whatever, or you have a bump on it, you won't break your bumper because you can run over it and all sorts. However, if you do bump your bumper with polyurethane, you're going to crack your paint, which was the argument for not having fiberglass, because if you bump your fiberglass bumper, you're going to crack your paint, you're going to crack your fiberglass. But then if you don't knacker your fiberglass bumper, you're probably going to have to sand it a bit, you know, where you've cracked the paint, and put some filler in it, which is bodywork, what you have to do when you're painting it anyway. And whether you cracked your fiberglass or your polyurethane, you'll be doing bodywork on it before you painted it, so there's not really any difference there. So the issue really is on a polyurethane bumper, it's not just bumping it and cracking it, it's generally driving it round, because these here, like here for example, is constantly under stress because it doesn't fit. This is constantly under stress because it's stretched around here and stressed here, and the weight of the bumper itself is bumping up and down, and this here is going to be constantly under stress and moving about because it's so flexible. So you're going to end up with cracks in your clear coat all the while, and you're going to end up with stuff what doesn't fit because it wants to move about, unless you build structure like bracing or an under tray or something to hold it in place. And to be honest, you shouldn't really need to do that. So what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the bumper on at the moment whilst I get the car finished, but I'm going to buy the Scarab bumper from the Z32, which is basically another copy of the Greddy, but it's in fiberglass. And because it's fiberglass, it'll be more rigid, so shouldn't have that issue there, or the other side. And also, what you do get on the, if you notice on the bottom of here, see these little bits there what pop down? Well, if I get extra material there, like there as well, Anybody that's done, say, metal work will know, if you've got extra material one place, it's come from somewhere else. Now if I've got extra material there, there and there, where do you think that's come from? Well, that has come from over here and over here, which is why that doesn't fit. So basically the weight of the bumper is flexing it, so I'm getting extra material there and I'm losing it there. So what you need is rigid structure, i.e. fiberglass, instead of polyurethane. So basically the conclusion is polyurethane's all right if you've got a drift car and you've got to crash it into stuff and you've got to paint the bumper every time you've crashed it. But if you want a car where you can drive around, daily driver, you don't want polyurethane, you want a fiberglass bumper. And the other thing that I am going to do as well is I'm going to, when I've got the scarab bumper, I'm going to either try and get hold of the Jap spec lights and take these out and basically wire them over there instead, and possibly get the ducts in here. Or what I might do is I might see if I can drill these out to fit these lamp holders into there, then do away with these and put some ducts in. So if you found this video interesting, helpful, please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you in the next one.